Hey y'all, I'm making this video as a confession and as a vow not to do something that I do that is really horrible. I just watched a video a little while ago that Gastric Rose put out about one of the people in the weight loss community. Her name is Black Candy. Her name is Diana, and she was in a bad car accident. She was hit by someone who was texting and driving. I text and drive. It's terrible. It's really bad. And like any other stupid vice or any other stupid thing that people do, it's done. You know it's wrong and you do it. And then when something happens, that's when it would be like, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. But that's not going to happen. I don't even have the phone in my hand right now. I figured out a way to prop it up on my, I don't have a new car, so I don't have all of the dash, you know, like the bells and whistles. So it's actually where my odometer is. My speedometer, my odometer is where the phone is right now. And that's where how I'm going to be making my videos. I don't care if the angle is flattering or not. Unless I'm standing still, this is how I'm going to make the videos. And I am not going to text and drive. I have speech to text on my phone. But you know what? Even that requires you to look away from what you're doing, because you gotta, you know, press the buttons, and if you don't, you know, if it's not spelled right, you know, whatever. It's just not, it's a distraction. But I do it, and I'm not making an excuse. I'm just, you know, making a confession. I got a million things going on, number one, which is bad, so I'm already distracted. And then I somehow feel like if somebody texts me that I immediately must answer them. And it's really a horrible, horrible habit. And it's a habit that I've been into for a long time. And it's there before the grace of God that I have not had an accident or come close to having an accident because of this. But, you know, sometimes God has a way of coming to you and telling you stuff. It's very interesting. I didn't see this video. I was going through Facebook, and I happened to look, you know, on my timeline, and I'm in my newsfeed. I normally don't look at that. I mean, I do sometimes, but I was on my computer. I wasn't on my app. On my laptop, and so I clicked on Rose's video, and that's how I saw it. Then right after that, I had sent a text. I was home, and I sent a group text out regarding some business that I'm doing with Xylophone, and my CEO texts me back and says, I can't text now, I'm driving, which is something that she never, ever, ever says. But it was almost like that was a reinforcement. You know, you get ready to get in your car in a few minutes, don't text and drive. So I am vowing today, October 4th, 2012, I will not text and drive. It's a horrible thing. And anyway, so that's the first part of this video. I will also not upload videos while I'm driving, which is something that I do as well. I do a lot of stupid shit while I'm driving, really. And I really need to stop it, because my mind is always racing, and I'm always thinking of the next thing to do. And instead of reflecting and using my time that I'm driving all over the place to reflect and to, you know, pray and things like that, which I do sometimes, I'm thinking that I'm 45 steps ahead, which is, it's just not good. As you heard before, I did pass my test. I am so grateful, thankful, and blessed to have made it this far, to have embarked on a new career at almost half a century years old. A completely new career with a completely new set of skills, a complete new knowledge-based certification, national recognition, director of PR and community outreach for a nonprofit that's starting to blow up, and people are starting to notice. I'm on my way now to take pictures of some of the staff for a county office, county office? Yeah, county office, for presentation at an event where the state is going to be in attendance, and perhaps my skills as my creative skills, because these have nothing to do with OT. It's photography, movie making, and just making, you know, that kind of creativity. I kind of like doing that, and so to use my skills with that to the benefit of some of the agencies in the state, and perhaps at one point, because this one I'm doing free, but the plan is that I will be a consultant for them in a different capacity than OT. So all these doors and blessings are coming towards me. None of them are millionaire-making endeavors, but they're also fulfilling for me and make me feel so happy that I'm able to give and to be able to participate in the lives of so many people. It's just amazing. I had a conversation today with just a very serendipitous meeting. Someone back in, God knows, 800 BC, when my dad, who'll be 90 this year, first retired from the post office. He was young because he had his military service and he had his, he was, I guess, I don't even know. Let's see, I don't know. Maybe he was 50, 60. I don't know. I don't remember. He managed a liquor store. He just did this. It was a big liquor store, not like a little, I don't even know if you guys have these. They have these little liquor stores with the bulletproof glass in the city where they got like 5 bottles of liquor. This is a huge liquor store that used to provide liquor for Broadway shows and different things like that. And my father, and I probably mentioned this before, my father used to manage this store. And at some point during my course of my late teens, early 20s, I worked there part-time at night. And, I don't even know how many years later, but 9 years ago, a new liquor store opened up here. And we're talking about a 200-mile, maybe 150-mile difference. And not someplace it's just it's not a place where you would expect people move there, but it was just weird. I happened to go into the liquor store and find out that this new liquor store that opened was owned by the same guy. These people are looking at me like I'm crazy. Was owned by I wish you could see all that's going on right here. The liquor store was owned by the same guy that owned the liquor store that my father managed, back in the Stone Age. And, from time to time I see the guy, and his dad and my dad are the same age. And, because his dad owned the liquor store and then gave it to him, and then with another one, he actually provided the champagne for my wedding. It was, just a real close family thing, but then we lost touch for 15, 20 years. Anyway, long story short, which is already a long story, we're having a fundraising party called Xyloween, which I'm going to do some taping of and post. It's come as your favorite performing artist. So Mike and I are going as Ike and Tina Turner. And I, as PR, am trying to get as much things donated as possible, PR fundraising, to get as much donated as possible so we don't have to pay for anything. So I went over there the other day, and he wasn't there. I left my business card, and I just spoke to him today, and his response to me was, and I quote, "Let me know when it is, how many people you have, and what kind of food are you serving, and we'll give you whatever you want." That feels so good. It feels so good for me to be able to go back now to my people and say, a friend of mine, a relationship that I've had, a connection that I made when I was 20. I'm 40,000 years old now. 27 years ago, a relationship or more, a relationship that I made has now been fortuitous for me to fundraise for a cause that I really, really believe in, an entity, a project that I really, really believe in. So it's just a wonderful feeling. We also have an autism move-a-thon that we're participating in this weekend. And I'll be doing a song, well, not alone, God knows not alone, from this musical that I produced and I'm the part of, called The Luckiest Penny. And that's exciting stuff as well. I feel good. I feel like, now it's onward. I felt the same way, but now I have credentials. Of course, it's going to take forever for the state to send me my paperwork. So I can't really work. I can work, but it's going to be I probably won't get settled in and working and making money. Thank God I'll have a good Christmas this year. I'm praying it'll be a good Christmas this year, and there's a couple of things I'd like to get Paul a laptop, a couple of things I'd like to get for my parents. So I'm actually going to spend some change. When I get I'm going to be spending some money. I'm not saving anything until next year. Bills that are going to wait until next year. I worked hard. I'm going to play hard for a bit, and then we'll be back on track. Because April, is a conference in San Diego, and I really would like to go to that. So I need to start preparing for that, and preparing for Paul, and just different things. So anyway, I'm going to end. I'm at 9:10. I'm going to end now, and I will upload this later on today when I get to some place where I have either a Wi-Fi connection or, you know, when I'm sitting down, because I'm actually going out for a drink with a friend of mine, you know, after I finish taking these pictures. So I will see you all later. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Diana, for sharing your story. Thank you, Rose, for sharing Diana's story and really reinforcing that I'm doing something that's just completely irresponsible, and someone who is in my position that helps people that have disabilities, traumatic brain injuries, strokes, different things like that. You know, for me to be doing this, texting and perhaps putting myself and more importantly someone else in danger is just totally irresponsible, and I apologize, you know, for just not being responsible. I do know for a fact that the largest, you know, in a traumatic brain injury unit, the people are younger. They're like 40s and younger. The younger people is usually for drugs, and the older people, it's for distracted driving. On that note, I say unto you, namaste. Please forgive me, pray for me, and I will no longer text and drive.